everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And I was going to use, I had bought this terracotta textured paint today at Hooby Looby. I decided I do not want to use that because I saw how much I paid for it. And I was like, oh no. Not going to use that. I'm looking for a brush I've been using a lot lately. I can't seem to find it. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and use some paint. This is deep brown from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use some clear glue. Maybe. And I'm going to use some Mod Podge. And together, this should give us kind of a creamy, nice and don't be afraid to use a little bit of water to spread that around if you need to. Now, if you have little pock marks with white, you definitely want to fill those in. So, you don't need to do this with any kind of real perfection. I guess if you really didn't care enough, any white shown through, you could just leave little dots of it. I don't think it would really make it too good or bad of a craft either way. Now, what's nice about something like this is there is a clear line of where going up and down is accessible with some rolls that look like they might be easier rolls. And then there's the sheer cliff face where a jump or a climb or an athletics or whatever you're using in your system could be drastically more different. You know what I mean? Like saying jump from here to here, climb from here to here is probably a lot harder than doing it up in steps. That's what I'm saying. Tell you what, somebody made a Blazing Saddles reference in the comments last night or this morning. Had me chuckling. So, if you're going to tell your characters, on Friday we're playing a Western game, watch these movies, and you can only pick 3 movies. You can pick 3 movies, and they don't even have to be Westerns, but 3 movies that you want to prepare people to watch Westerns, or to play a Western campaign. Why don't y'all tell me what you would pick? And I'm interested to see. Definitely Young Guns 1 and 2 to give that whole, like, this place is kind of wild and the law is only the law when it suits the people that can afford to suffer the law vibe that I want it. Besides, who doesn't like have a little John Bon Jovi in their soundtrack, right? Shot down in a blaze of glory. Now you could put a lot of detail on these. You could flock them. You could give them different levels and layers. You can make them thicker. I don't know if I'd go too much thinner. You could put about 2 miniatures on top of each one. Maybe staggered, not side by side. But anyways, that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is you can go really into detail on these if you want to. But don't forget, unless you think you can use them for all your games, and you're making something Western specific that matches your terrain type or something like I'm doing, don't go overkill on these. Don't spend 1,000,000 hours working on these. Just get them ballpark, okay? Or you're going to regret it later because you're going to have a bunch of stuff you spend a lot of time on that you don't know what you want to do with. And trust me, that is not the kind of... You can only keep so much terrain. Well, me, I don't know how much room you have, but I can only keep so much terrain in stock. I have only so much storage. Just like I gave away my Star Wars terrain after that, and I'm going to have to make all new. I'm going to have to give away my Western terrain too. Because we do play mostly fantasy, and that's the stuff I got to keep. Now, I know people that they have a lot of terrain, they don't have a lot of miniatures, and they hang their terrain on the wall. They put little, like, holes on it and just hang them on nails and stuff. That's a pretty good idea if you can do that. I can't do that because I have miniatures on almost every open wall space that is available. I have shelves of miniatures. So I can't really do that with my stuff, but it can definitely be done. Didn't want to get rid of some of the Star Wars ships that I built. I thought I would hang them from the ceiling, and then they just were getting dusty and sitting around, and I ended up giving those away too. But yeah, I gave it all away except for just a couple pieces, some smaller stuff that I could fit into little storages and stuff like that. Like, I don't even know, like little computer monitors and stuff like that. That I made or printed. I kept that stuff. Stuff you could throw on different scenery to make it look a little bit interesting. I think I kept a couple little piles of gears that I just put a lot of effort into and really liked. Yeah, but all my Star Wars stuff went bye-bye for the most part. And then people are like, you got rid of your Star Wars stuff? well, yeah, we just finished a campaign and I know where to put it. And here's the other thing. Players love to come to your house and see all your stuff. But I'll tell you what, man, well, with the exception of a little bit here and there, if they're not your direct family, your players are generally not going to be the first ones to come running to help clean something or dust minis or pitching money to change things around to make the play area better. Generally, they're not those people. They're going to show up and have lots of ideas, but they're not going to want to come help carry boards or, be a gopher for you while you're working on something. They're not going to be the ones that throw the money up for it. As a forever DM or forever GM, that falls mostly on you. I've had groups where some of the people were kind of like contributors in certain ways, and I've had groups where people just were not anything. More so than not anything, like they just want to show up and play, and that's all they do. New players tend to be a little more enthusiastic if you're trying to get people excited about a project you want to work on. And somebody who wants to learn how to paint minis almost always can be drawn into some kind of mass army production or painting sturdy goblins party of some sort. Even if they just have one job and they feel like they're learning something. Okay, we're getting there. We're just about ready. And you come around and get all your excess kind of lumps that came around the edges while you're painting, clean those off. And they don't have to be perfect. All right. Now let me show you something. We'll just keep using this. Let me get a piece of cardboard. I'm going to put a little bit of red paint in here. And it doesn't matter what kind of red paint you use. All right. So I'm going to get a little red paint. I'm going to get a little bit of water. And I'm going to mix that up. It's going to be a little bit wet. Get a little more water. Okay. I'm going to show you guys some cool tricks. Now, it's better if your stuff is dryish than what I'm about to show you. But this will be okay. You're going to like this. A little bit more water. There we go. You want it kind of soupy. All right. You ready for some shit? I'm going to show you some shit. Now, if this does not work, I apologize, because I just had this idea. I'm going to use something weighty to hold this down so it doesn't flip up on me while I'm working. Okay. I'm going to shove some paint in this other one here to hold it in place. That won't fit. Will that fit? There we go. All right. This is my idea. If it works or not, we don't know. Let me get some string. And of course I'm using the scissors that I was going to cut it with. All right, getting some other scissors here. All right, so that's about the length I want it to be. So I'm going to get those two. I'm going to dip this down in my paint. All right, and I'm going to use my brush to push this down in here like this. Okay, and again, I don't know how well this is going to work. It's just an idea. And I'm going to get my, I'm going to lay it across here roughly. Okay. Now I'm going to get this back in here and let it go for a minute. I'm going to flip this over and do the same kind of deal. And then since I can see where my lines left off on my sides, I'm just going to use those same lines like that. So in theory, it goes all the way around as intended. Okay. And those are going to be the base lines for all the lines I put on here afterwards that will not be done with a string. That way I have kind of usable and recognizable straight lines to look at for this. Now on this side, because of the angle I have this, I'm not sure if I can get this down here without messing something up, but we'll try it. Worst case scenario, yeah, it's going to lay down in a way I don't want it to. It'll be all right though. Whoops, making a big old mess. And I made this one a little crooked. All right. I'm going to set that off to the side because I might need that for another project. And let's get a piece of cardboard. And let's utilize that red a little bit while we have it out. So I'm just going to get some of this. I'm going to kind of dab that around on some of the flat parts on the top. If there's some white showing that you didn't like or that you missed, this would be a good time to cover that up. Just throw that red in there. Starting to run down. Bear with me. Brushing the water. I'm going to get a light orange. I'm looking for something kind of crappy. I'm going through my brush stock pile looking for garbage. stuff that doesn't get a lot of use, doesn't get a lot of love. So I have this brush, which has this horrible synthetic hair. It's not even plastic, it's synthetic hair. I hate it. So I'm going to take my orange, and I'm going to start here at the bottom of this red where it's running down. And I'm going to come under here. Okay. I'm going to go all the way around like that. And in some spots, I'll do more than others. Because it's not about making this take all day. It's about doing something half-assed that's going to look pretty decent. And I think this will, honestly. Okay. We're going to let that down. Grab this one. I'm not doing it on the bottom part either. I'm just doing the yellow on this. Okay. And if you have some of that, or the orange, I mean, and if you have some paint spilling down, just let it. Just run it through there. Make it yellow underneath it the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. All right, cool. Now, I'm going to grab a glove because this part's going to be messy. Get an old piece of fabric or terry cloth or washcloth or whatever you can find. I'm going to use this old piece of Minecraft pajamas here. And then start dabbing it down. Okay. Now we're going to get both of these. We're going to hit them with a +5 hot air gun of burning. We get time check here. All right. It doesn't have to be 100% dry for this next step, but we're going to get our cardboard. We're going to get a brown color. I'm using khaki. You use whatever color you want. I thought I was using khaki, but I grabbed light mocha. Okay. Something like that. And the bigger the better. This is a makeup brush from, what's that place called? Dollar Tree. You want it to be kind of chunky. Okay. Then all I'm going to do is kind of drag that around and create some lighter tone here and there. You could really leave it that way if you wanted. That doesn't look terrible. But I'm going to come back with a piece of cloth or sponge or something. Do it again. Same kind of spiel. Make sure you got your chunky. If it's not chunky, it'll start drying and you won't be able to smudge it as nicely. So you want to kind of leave yourself the ability to smudge it around with a piece of fabric or whatever. Okay, I got 2 of those. I'm done with my cardboard. And let's see what sponge pieces I have laying around. Not seriously. I just moved the shop around, so I don't know where everything is. I know I own sponges. Okay, well, I'm not using a sponge because I don't feel like rinsing one out or drying one out. I have some rinsed down in the other room. So I'm just going to grab another piece of that robe or pajama pants or whatever it was I grabbed. Oh, yep, here we go. Here's a piece of a torn hoodie. Sweet. It's kind of dried more than I wanted it to at this point. Now I suppose if you're having some issues and not getting the look you want, or you took too long like I did and you messed around, you could get it damp and do it. But man, I'm worried it would just smudge everything together and you would just have one massive lumpy dumpy paint job. Okay, so it has like some semblance of lines through it, like it's got striations of settled stone. It's got some different color variation to it. And these would make very admirable, usable cliff faces. If you want to do a ravine or, you know, they're going through a gulch or whatever, this would be perfect for it. So, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, and leave a comment. That appeases the great spirits of the algorithm. Do me a favor, check out the website and buy some miniatures if you can. If you can't, no judgment. We promise, we've all been there. And last but not least, come join us on Discord. Hang out there and show us what you're making. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.